right, everybody, welcome back. This is now episode 5 of the Unpolished podcast. Still out here in Kelowna, as promised. We're going to be talking that fuck shit today. As you can tell from the last episode, still out here with Ethan.
Just a bit of a change in scenery. Now we're back at my house.
Yeah, back out in Lake Country. We were in Big White for the last episode, celebrating our buddy Eric's birthday. Going to be out here for today, and right after we're done filming, I'm going to be back in Edmonton, so...
Yeah, I literally have to drive Jacob to the airport in like an hour.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to be trying to rip through this one and pump it out. Got to follow through as promised on this episode. So I guess a good place to start from the last podcast, episode 4, we were talking on traveling and different food that we've experienced and our favorites, but I think we could start on the fuck shit on traveling.
Where do we begin?
I don't even know where to start. I feel like a good place to start, maybe, so people get a better vibe of who you are. I want to hear that Bangkok strip club story.
Oh, God. Okay, so I traveled to Southeast Asia with one of my friends, and we were going to a bunch of different places, and towards the end of the trip, we just ended up in Bangkok, which was pretty wild. That city is honestly... It's crazy. It's so big and there's so much going on. And I always hear a lot of people don't actually like it, but I fuck with it. It's a pretty decent city. Yeah. Lots to do.
I've never been myself, so I always love hearing these stories.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't want to say it's a weird experience, but it's a cool experience going there. It's like... Yeah.
Culture shock, definitely.
Yeah, when you go from like a place like Edmonton to like a crazy city like Bangkok, there's a big change, but... Lots of cool stuff to do. So
yeah,
one of these nights it was like the end of our trip, and we were staying by this area that was apparently known for its strip clubs. It's called Sukhumvit. I forget the street name, but we didn't choose it because of this. It just happened to be just like a short walk from our hotel. Yeah, and so we're going to this like, it's a bunch of strip clubs on one street. And they're all pretty greasy. Like, I actually don't know if you could necessarily call them strip clubs. They're kind of like sex clubs or like brothels.
Fair enough.
It's pretty, like, I hadn't even been to strip clubs in Canada by the time, like, before I went to these. So it was like a fully new experience. And the fact that it was just like so insane there, like, just the fact that, like, you know what I mean?
That shit just like doesn't exist here.
Yeah, no, it
for the most part, from what I've heard.
Yeah, it might be existent here, but it's a lot more regulated here, I think. But anyways, we're going to the strip club, and I was pretty drunk as per usual, and I drank so much that I had to go to the washroom. Like, you know, you break the seal.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so I went to the washroom, but unknowingly to me, my friend had talked to one of the strippers who I was in the washroom, and this girl just comes into the washroom. Like, I just look, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, she's coming up right behind me, and I was literally mid-piss, and this girl just, like, touches
goes for the reach around?
Yeah, goes for the reach around while I'm pissed. I was like, honestly so shocked. I was like, yo, what? Like, and then I was just kind of like, I didn't even know what to say. It was just like such a surprise. Yeah. That like when I got out of the washroom, my friend was laughing so hard at me. Like, I was like,
so that was set that up.
Yeah.
That's jokes.
Which if you know him, he's not like that. Like, yeah. I was surprised. I was like, what? Like,
I don't know him very well. But I just, from what I've experienced with him, I wouldn't take him as the kind of guy to pull that off, but that's fucking funny.
Yeah. That's something I expect from like you. Or like
Eric Sawyer.
Yeah, one of you guys for sure would do that.
Yeah, some of that fuck shit. But that's so fucking jokes.
Yeah, it was.
Did he pay for that, or was it just like, my buddy's getting in the bathroom, go reach around?
Honestly, I have no clue. It could have very well been.
Couldn't have been much.
But yeah, no, like it's kind of sad because they basically like want you to take them home, and it's like ends up being the equivalent of like 30 or 40 Canadian dollars, and it's like
yeah, but I mean out there it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
it goes a long way. It's not a lot of money, but I know it goes a long way
Yeah,
I've never
definitely.
been there, but like I know a lot of us have, or a lot of our friends have. So
Yeah, and this was a long time ago. This was probably like almost 7 years ago. So
yeah, it's a
been a
while ago
while.
at this point.
yeah,
I guess more recent, we can talk on when, like, we've been to a lot of music festivals in the last few years. I guess not lately, since like a lot of them have been canceled.
yeah,
Like you've heard of like cancellations on like Pemberton, and you've heard cancellations on Squamish, I think it was, and like a few other ones in Canada. And
Center
I guess
of Gravity is canceled now.
yeah,
too.
Center of Gravity in Kelowna is canceled now too. But we've got like from when we were in Lollapalooza. I guess that's a lot more recent, and that's a big one.
Lolla's the first one that we ever went to together. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
So you get a bunch of the boys who are 19 years old, and we're not just going to a music festival. We're going to Chicago, and that's like what I like about Lollapalooza the most. It's downtown Chicago, so
the location's crazy.
yeah, Grant Park. It's
mint.
insane. And like just I'm not much of a camping person, so the fact that you can stay in a hotel, be in the middle of the city, do other stuff, that was like perfect.
Ideal, especially it's a sick city.
That's like our perfect setup for a festival, I think.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's pretty dope.
Would you go before we dive into that? Would you go to Coachella? Because that's out of the way, is it not?
Yeah, that's like
from Palm Springs.
yeah, it's like it's like I think close to the town.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I don't really have anything shitty to say about Coachella, but I think it ends up being like a lot of people who are like influencers and like
yeah,
they're there for the Instagram pic, like, and usually the lineup isn't that great, but I will say
this year's nuts.
this year,
Yeah, proper.
I was honestly so impressed. I was like, okay, this is the one time.
Is it like Frank, Travis Scott?
Yeah,
Like I
don't even
can't
remember.
recall the other one, but
It was that lineup was very proper.
I think
so-
Rage Against the Machine. So kind of a sick vibe, to be honest. Like I'd fuck with that. I'd fuck with Frank Ocean heavy. I know you do as well.
Oh, Frank is one of
Travis
my goats.
Scott, definitely like arguably in the top spot right now as far as rap goes, but
In
I don't
our
know.
opinion, I guess.
in our opinion, yeah, our take, I mean, could be different for you, but
There's going to be people who be like, oh, they think Travis Scott is so
Yeah.
sick. They don't know what real rap is. Like, who cares?
it's like, bro, have you heard Eminem's new album?
if you vibe with it, then that's all that matters.
That's your shit. Just don't play it when I hand you the aux.
yeah. I mean, if someone's going to be talking shit about my music and then they throw on J. Cole,
Yeah.
no offense, J. Cole, not a fan.
Yeah, me neither. But Lollapalooza, that was fun because I guess like it started off, we get there, we're 19 years old and obviously not of age. We had one friend with a fake ID getting wristbands, breaking the wristbands off to put them on us. We just had them tied up, but it's so busy there. I think I want to say it's 100,000 plus people easy.
Yeah, I think definitely over the weekend it's
120, something like that.
yeah.
So we get these wristbands. So we're absolutely boozing. Prior to that, our daily routine was we'd go to the liquor store, pick up like a handle and like a 30 pack. 4 of us crush that. Somehow we'd walk to the festival. I don't know how we even made it there.
It was a miracle some days because we were
But-
like blackout before we even got there.
We were like, I will say, like during the festival, I'd say we were enjoying a lot of the music and taking in the experience. But it was like after the festival when we were like getting up to some fuck shit.
Yeah, and like it would have been so much better, I think, if we were all 21, just so that like we wouldn't have issues with like going out and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was funny from like our friends taking some substances and like
Yeah, definitely a little bit of substance abuse. We don't condone that, kids, but it happens.
yeah, you can't really just
We were doing that, and then we indulged in some different things, and primarily a lot of alcohol. And we ended up at that Ferris wheel in Chicago.
oh, but before we got to the Ferris wheel, we had lost a couple of our friends.
Oh yeah.
And like it's a huge festival. You can't just like walk around and find your friends like it's an easy task.
You can't text them either.
Yeah, because there's
The cell phones are jammed completely.
Yeah, I remember like trying to use our phones, and you just couldn't. You couldn't like load anything with like data.
And we're in the States. I don't even think this was a few years ago. So like, I don't even think
2014.
I don't even think we were like roaming like home at that point. Like we were on green text. Like
Yeah, we were just like
so bad.
We'll turn our phones on at this time.
Yeah, pretty much.
If
We
we're
know where the
lost.
hotel is.
Yeah, we were fine, but it just sucks when you lose your friends.
Yeah.
But
We had linked up. So we had all agreed that we'd meet at this Ferris wheel. I don't know why. I don't know why it was enticing, but we pull up and two of our friends, they're already on this Ferris wheel with like a family. It was like a mother and like two younger children.
no, I thought it was like a couple who.
There was like two, like they just kept riding the fucking thing. One of them was like, they were with like a mom that was pissed off. They were just fucked up taking selfies with her. She gets off with like these kids. They're like 10 years old. And then the next one was like a couple and they're just they sat between the couple and just started taking pictures with them.
Yeah, okay. Just to give you guys a better picture of why people were disgusted is because they were both like shirtless, like these two guys.
I wish I could throw up a picture of that because it's it's iconic.
It is like just these like guys both wearing like typical dad cargo shorts and like tarps off. I was like,
barrels out.
We had no clue why they did this, but we like caught up with them, and they also showed us the pictures they took, and I was just like, what is wrong with you guys? Like,
and like like the whole what's wrong with you guys proceeded through that night when we linked up with those girls from, where were they from? I can't even remember, man. It was those three girls from Detroit, like somewhere pretty grimy.
Wait, when was this? Was this after the festival?
Yeah,
or during?
That was after the festival at after that Ferris wheel.
Honestly, it's embarrassing. I don't remember.
Okay, I'll refresh your memory. They're the three of those, and
okay.
they were from Detroit. And just imagine, like, we got 4 or 5 like loser drunk boys with no fucking game at that point.
Zero.
And these
still
don't have game, but these girls just were not having it. And that was kind of like.
But they were hanging out with us for a bit, weren't they?
They hung out, but like if you were trying to like make any moves or like try to get them like, oh, let's party, let's after party, like whatever, like they were just not having it because they were not on the same level.
Yeah, I also for some reason want to say that they were like maybe 17 or 18.
Yeah, like very questionable at the time.
Yeah, like it's bad, but I mean we're 19, so that's not that.
Yeah, I mean, without knowing, it was like, it was just debatable. They looked young, but they would say they were like, at that point we were just judging it, like we were saying like, oh, you went to the festival, like, okay, they must be.
Yeah, the only thing that really threw it off because they didn't actually say was something about her mom picking them up from the festival.
Yeah, and we were like, okay, well, we're gonna head out.
Yeah, we gotta go. Sorry,
like, all right, you had us in the first half, but
I'm not trying to catch a case.
Yeah, but I think aside from Lollapalooza, which was a huge fucking vibe, that was more like we definitely enjoyed the festival a lot, like a lot more than the partying at the time, just because we weren't able to, go as hard like in the city. But Pemberton was definitely quite the fucking time with the fuck shit.
Oh god,
that was bad.
That was
I don't even know where to start for that one.
We to this day still rip on our friend for this girl that he smashed there. It was like, it was appalling.
So I guess that was like this is the peak. So we're going to Ray Shremmerd, like something along, or no.
No, it was that dubstep. I forget.
The Chainsmokers? I don't know.
No, it was
Cascade?
Shit, I can't remember, but
I don't know.
Like Flosstradamus. That's
Flosstradamus.
What it was.
So,
which is sick, by the way.
Yeah, shout out. But we were going to Flosstradamus, so it was just like rave vibe. We're partying and
we're like pre-drinking. Right?
We're essentially pre-drinking to go to this like set, I guess.
Like I think we were also making dinner
at the time, and this girl walks by where we're staying, and she's like, I don't know, this is just something that happens a lot, but we were just like, yo, like come have a drink or something, right? Like let's party.
Yeah, just trying to be friendly with the people around.
Yeah, we're like, what up? Like just come have a drink. Like we're pouring up drinks, and she's just about it like right off the bat, and our buddy who was involved in this, his eyes just kind of lit up at that point. And so we're like partying and stuff, and she starts telling us like, oh, my boyfriend, like we're huge fight, like he threw all my shit on the grass, like just like how he's losing his mind, whatever. And she's like, I'm hanging out with you guys, and we're like, all right, like I guess so. Me and Ethan weren't really having that, but
we just looked, like I swear to God, we actually looked at each other and we were like, fuck no, like
I'm gonna plug that meme behind us where he's like,
yeah, Jacob and I, like you said, we were not about it, but our friend was, so we were just like, whatever. But she was being so weird because she had basically broken up with her boyfriend and was looking for such a quick rebound. Like, who breaks up with their...
It was like within minutes, man.
Yeah, like, who breaks up with your your
he doesn't even... He probably didn't even know they were broken up.
Yeah. Like, it was just...
The boyfriend probably texted his homies and he's like, oh, man, we were just scrapping. Like, we just fought.
And this girl just latched onto our friend like a lost puppy.
Yeah, big time.
And, okay, so we're like, whatever. We're just having some drinks. And then we're heading over to the festival. And she runs ahead of us. Like, no.
Yeah, she'd run about like 10 feet ahead of us.
Just so that she could like start twerking. And again, Jacob and I look at each other like, no, like
what the
this,
fuck?
Like, stop.
It was entertaining because we don't know you, so.
Yeah, and our other friend.
There's a lot worse people at these festivals, but.
Our homie was just like getting even more excited. Like, you could just see him. Like, he looks at us and he's so pumped.
It was getting raunchy. They were like smacking asses, like attached at each other. It was nuts.
It was appalling from my perspective.
So I guess like the peak of that is we go and we're enjoying the concert. We literally turn around. They're fucking nowhere to be seen, which is fine. We're in a huge crowd. No big deal. Ethan gets a text. He's like, yo, I need a condom right now. Where are the domes at? And you were like, I don't have any.
No, I did.
Oh, and you were like, no.
I think I did give him one, actually. I was just like, go in my tent.
Oh, okay. Because I remember he sent me a text too, and I was like, fuck no.
Yeah, but I was just like, yeah, you definitely should wear one with this girl. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
What that's up to. So me and Ethan stumble back, loser drunk. And like from where we were staying, you could just hear like paper thin. They were just fucking wild animals.
Like it was, you know how thin tents are. You can hear everything.
I guess like failed to mention we were camping in the mountains. So these tents are obviously, this is in the summer. These tents are paper thin.
And you hear every single sound, especially
you hear
when
some serious clapping.
His tent was right beside mine. Jacob just comes into my tent and we hear like the rhythm going on. And then every so often it's disrupted by like a slap. And I'm like, Jacob and I are like this whole time.
A smack and a choke.
Yeah. We're like looking at each other every 10 minutes and being like, this can't be real. Like,
so at that point, they end up having a bit of a photo shoot in the tent, and he starts sending us pictures in the group chat of her just like buck ass naked in the tent.
And so we were just
so our drunk asses decide it's a good idea to just open up the tent and offer some drinks. Jordan's pissed off. She's having fun. She wants us to hang out, and Jordan's just like, you fucking assholes, get out of here.
Yeah, but we also like opened up the tent and we were just like kind of fucking with them. And we like had our flashlights because we wanted to see what was going on. Yeah. And she just like pulls the covers from like over her.
She was about it. This was all fucking.
Yeah, she just like
very about it.
Flashes us, and I'm like,
It's like, so you have sex with our friend, and then you pull out your titties for us, and then you're gonna leave, and then. So good thing you wrapped up that one.
Needless to say, many memes were made about this girl and
this has
our
been,
friend. Because I make memes, so like I'll Photoshop our friends' faces onto things and just
that's been a good way of us roasting each other.
So we definitely had some funny pictures to go along with that experience. And sorry about this to our buddy, but we roasted him like years. We still roast him.
It could still come up.
It still does come up.
There's been some good photoshops of his head on her body, some different things, but
like some Snapchat filter faces.
Yeah,
and like I don't know,
so bad. So that's Pemberton in a nutshell.
It was fucked. I wouldn't do camping.
No, I can't. That's like an experience that I've done it. That's good enough for me.
It was fine for the first couple days, but after that,
disorganized.
It was so it's a 4-day music festival. After like the second day,
bro, you're done. You're done after fucking 4 days.
Oh yeah, but
or
like
2 days. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
The camping is awful once it's like the third and fourth day, and the porta potties just like stink up the entire campground. Like
so bad.
It's so gross.
Yeah, it's bad.
Plus, there's like you can technically take showers there, but it's like shitty cold showers.
No, we were going back and forth between Whistler.
Yeah, our friend was living in Whistler over the summer, so he just brought us to his place and we took showers there. And like
on the daily, we just like shower, charge up, go eat like a proper meal, go sit and eat, decompress. We like hit up some lakes. It was nice.
We needed that because there's no way I could stay on that campground.
Fuck that
for the whole time.
Unless I was glamping.
Yeah.
Unless we had like a 50-foot trailer or something.
It was exhausting, but it was also exhausting because the weekend before was Center of Gravity, and we were at Center of Gravity here in Kelowna. And then a few days later, we left to go for Pemberton.
Oh, we drove out there, yeah.
So we were just like already done.
On a bender.
Like, yeah. It was too much.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it nowadays.
No, fuck that. I'd go to Coachella. I'd go to Lollapalooza. Like, I'd do those things. Those are fun and not as long.
Yeah, definitely.
Rolling Loud looks crazy.
That'd be pretty wild. But 100% want to go back to Lollapalooza. I love Chicago. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah, 100%.
I know people give it a bad rap because of like all the violence and stuff that you hear about.
I feel like from experience, it's got to be like in the suburbs.
Oh, it absolutely is. Downtown Chicago is 100%.
Beautiful. It's clean, good, like good crowds. We had no problems, and we were there for 6 days.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, I love Chicago. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd love to go back, but it's just hard nowadays, like coordinating all our friends.
Yeah, we can't even get a big group together anymore.
No,
it's like almost impossible.
Well, I mean, like look around.
All of our friends are here.
Yeah, we got our boy here. We haven't introduced him yet.
These are my plants.
Absolutely. Well, if that you should just start your own podcast on plants. The Plant Cast.
If you guys want to talk plants, I can talk plants. I'm a
hit
big
up
plant
Ethan
guy.
in the comment section below. We'll plug his Instagram if you want to talk plants. Anything else you want to talk, he's not going to answer.
Especially if you're a cute girl, then.
If you're a plant girl, I got you a plant guy right here.
Slide in the DMs, ladies.
Get yourself a quarantine. I guess aside from festivals, it's kind of weird like thinking back on festivals because even at the festival we tend to like enjoy the festival itself quite a bit, but I guess most of the fuck shit comes in Edmonton when we were all living in the same city.
Yeah, this would be like
definitely the meat and potatoes of that is when we're in Edmonton at specifically fucking tribute days.
Yeah, oh man, the tribute days were insane. Like
something else.
I love that place. A lot of people would also kind of rip on it because they
100%
because they thought it was like hood or something.
But you have they didn't have the same experience.
Yeah, no, we
and like I'm not even trying to boost, maybe a little, but like you genuinely like I literally said this when we were there one time. This is the best way to describe tribute. Is we have our section that we always had roped off, and I think I told some girls that were there. They were like, "Oh, like we need more chase or something," and they were gonna leave. And I was like, no, it's like Mexico. Just stay on the resort. That's pretty much the best way to describe tribute.
Tribute was like pretty wild because we would go and get like bottles and tables every weekend, Friday and Saturday. So it was just
and this was
overkill.
Like 6 liters most of the time. Like
it just depended on the night, like how busy it was. But there's one night, I think one of the funniest stories in my opinion from our tribute days was we went. Brendan and I, our friend, we went out to tribute one night, just the two of us. We obviously had a table.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about this on FaceTime.
We had it roped off.
Yeah.
And they had like some sort of like B or D list celebrity. Like it was just like one of those nights, like some influencer. I think it was like, was it Diddy's son? I don't know.
Oh my God.
But anyways, there's Brendan and I sitting in our own booth together. Like we didn't talk to anyone, didn't talk to any girls before we went. And because we didn't want to, we were just like, let's just go have a couple drinks and then we'll leave. So it's just us two sitting in this booth, and these, like, this person, whoever they were, like the celebrity, was just like obviously popping off because they're there just to like bring people in. They got like a big stage roped off. And then Brendan and I just look at each other. We're like, let's order a 6-liter bottle of Belvedere just for the two of us. Yeah. So we just like, we ordered this 6-liter bottle and they bring it out to us, and we can see like some of the guys in like this table that they
whoever
brought
this
the
person was.
in. They're just like looking over and they're talking to the waitress, and they're like,
let's call this guy Brad Chasley. Let's just
Brad Chasley.
Fucking he's a Braxton.
So they're looking at the waitress and they're like, oh, we want one of those bottles, but I think there was only one at the time, or we got, I don't know.
You had bought it.
Whatever happened,
you bought it.
They didn't buy one, but we had one. And I shit you not, I don't even think we put a dent in the neck. That's how big those bottles are. Like,
yeah. And I remember like we'd always you could just write on the bottles with Sharpie and leave it in the back, and we'd serve ourselves most of the time.
Yeah.
but
yes, but not really.
yeah. Oh yeah. We definitely went through the necessary precautions by Alberta Gaming Liquor.
Yeah, but
Maybe not. It's all hypothetical.
Yeah, this is hypothetical.
Yeah. I remember so many times, like even when Brendan would rent out those and have those parties.
I actually never went to one because I was always out of town.
Really?
Yeah.
Both times?
Both times.
Wow.
I was in Peru.
Yeah.
I think
Shout
the
out Brendan
first
for
time.
we've thrown some he's specifically thrown some I've attended, but he's thrown some crazy parties there.
Yeah, I wish I could have attended. Actually, you guys would FaceTime me when I was like,
I think he took us, the owner would hook us up. I think it was like $100 bottles of
I don't know.
Belvedere
But
or Goose.
Corey always hooked it up. He was so nice to us.
Yeah.
And like made going there such a pleasant experience.
That's the running joke in our group. We know Corey.
Yeah. Shout out Corey.
To get in. But I remember some of those trivia stories would be like, just like, and the funny thing with bottle services, like now it's definitely something we've more or less grown out of.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in doing that sort of stuff anymore.
Yeah, not at all. But it's so funny to look back on, like just so much douchebag shit. Like I remember one time these girls, like I think we had like a pretty big bottle. It was like it was probably a 3 liter. And these girls were like standing at the rope, holding their drinks out. I straight up like thought they were fucking, like they were like holding it out like a fucking zoo asking for a drink. So I just was drunk, and poured it on the ground and told them to Zamboni it.
Savage.
So,
but
I'm just going to check the camera. You keep going.
Yeah, we could talk about like all the tribute shenanigans, but that could take up a few episodes and you guys would get bored of it. But more or less, it was just a mess. Like we would go there twice a weekend.
Way too much.
Spend way too much money there. Do some stupid shit. Like they used to sell us these like cheap ass champagne bottles that we wouldn't even drink them. It's off? Uh-oh, we've got some technical difficulties, so you might be hearing us talk over a black screen. Yeah. But we'll keep going anyways. We just like get these cheap bottles of champagne and either spray them, which everyone hated us when we did that, because we wouldn't really spray each other. We'd spray the people outside of our booth, or just pour the bottles out onto the ground. But yeah, we'll just kind of leave it from there. Just think of all those types of shenanigans.
Yeah, the spraying was a bad one because I remember we've gone to different clubs and done the same thing, and that shit doesn't fly.
Yeah, no, even Corey wouldn't want us doing it all the time. He'd only let us do it sometimes.
Yeah, so while I'm fixing the camera situation here, I got to talk about the Vancouver experience when you were in Vancouver with Brendan the other week.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was in Vancouver over reading week. I was just staying with my buddy Jordan. And our other friend, Brendan, he was flying to Hawaii, and his connection was through Vancouver, and ended up having some delays with his flight, and it got pushed back to the next day. So I was like, oh, shit. Come take the trainer and Uber into town. And he did. So Brennan and his younger brother Connor came out with us to. It was just like a random. It wasn't even the weekend. I think it was. I think it was like a Wednesday or something.
They were heading to Hawaii, no?
Yeah, they were going to Hawaii, and so we end up just going for a few drinks at this place called Colony. Pretty casual. Jordan has to work the next day, so I think it was like 1:00, and he called it a day. And Brendan finds like the only place that's open that's doing bottles. So we went there. Like I was already blackout.
Pause. I love how we just made a huge claim. Oh, we're not into that anymore. Oh, hey, by the way, what about last weekend?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go on.
Okay, but that was the first time in a long time. I've got no interest in doing it, and now that I live in Kelowna, I don't really know a ton of people here either. So, anyways, we go to this like the only place that's open, and I'm already completely dusted. We hadn't even started drinking there yet, and I was gone. And like 10 minutes in, we were at the booth, and they like finally poured us drinks, and I think it was like my second drink that I had. I was like, uh-oh, this isn't sitting well. So I just like straight up puked all over the floor of the booth. Like,
Oh my fucking! I can picture this right now.
Like,
and you're not one to do that.
And like, yeah, nobody really saw. I think maybe like one or two people saw, but I did it pretty low key. But then I was so drunk that I was like spreading it around with my shoes, and like it was on my pants. And eventually, like, someone catches on. They're like trying to kick me out, and I was like super wasted, but somehow I was like put together enough where they didn't think I was drunk, and ended up they were like trying to kick me out, and my friends were just like, no, he's fine. Look at him. I was standing up, and I was like able to comprehend everything that was going on. Just the liquor didn't.
Meanwhile, your outfit's covered in throw up.
Yeah, like my shoes, like all over my Prada sneakers.
Yeah, the
I was not happy about.
Just smearing them around. That's what those are good for.
But luckily, they clean easily, and they did clean very easily. But anyways,
respect.
I didn't get kicked out. We stayed there, and next thing I knew, okay, this club that we're at is probably like a 5-minute walk from our friend Jordan's place downtown.
Yeah.
And I black out, and I wake up at my friend's hotel. I wake up at the Fairmont that's at the airport. I'm like, why the fuck did I come all the way out here
to the airport?
Where
were you going? Where did you want to go?
I was so dusted that I don't know if they like told me to come with them or not, but I ended up at the fucking airport, which was dumb.
End up at the airport hotel in Connor's bed.
Yeah, I woke up next to my friend's brother. But
how'd you get back downtown to Yaletown?
I just took the train back.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, the SkyTrain goes right from the airport to Yaletown. So managed to find my way home. But that day was a write-off.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go biking with my friends, and I literally went straight to bed again. When I got back, I was way too hungover.
So bad. These all kind of remind me, like, speaking of like festivals, I wouldn't even call this a festival, but who the fuck's that?
No, I was just saying the time.
Oh, yeah, a notification. I was like, I don't know what that is. I see that again.
Yeah, one sec.
Oh, doing good. So I was just going to bring up like some Soundwave stories from when we were in Edmonton.
Oh, God.
So another, like, we sound like we're into like raves or something, which we're definitely not.
This is just like coincidence and like knowing people.
It's like knowing people and having good setups. So I remember we've gone to Soundwave a few times. I think I've been on a couple occasions without you and with you, and you've been on there to Soundwave without me.
Yeah.
And we've been together a few times. Yeah.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way first, though. It may be Soundwave, but we wear like our normal clothes.
Regular clothes.
We don't go anywhere near the water.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what Soundwave is, it's like
it's a rave at the water park. It's a rave.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain it even deeper than a rave at a water park, because you have obviously a bunch of like people that are into raves, geeked out on Molly in a pool with like, I could only imagine what that water's like.
Yeah, there's no way I'm stepping anywhere
Not
near
a chance.
that water.
Like our setup was we'd have like our opportunity would definitely be like go pull up in our regular clothing. We're not being checked. We're not like, we didn't even have tickets. Yeah. Walk right to the back of the stage where we'd have our setup right behind the stage. And it was kind of funny because the setup that we'd have would be better than the artists.
Yeah, and it's like this is not even us. This is just our friends who are like
we didn't set that. We were just like
we're the plus ones.
We're the plus ones.
Not even trying to flex like this. No,
we didn't set this up.
We just got lucky and they invite us. But they
just
had
like
a
good
sick setup.
Just having good friendships with different people.
Yeah,
it pays off in different ways. So Soundwave, I'm just like I'm thinking back. So the best would be like, we'd go, it would be essentially chirping people that are in the water, a ton of girls backstage. I'm assuming there are a lot of girls that would like sell tickets.
Yeah, and we're in an area that's like completely like
blocked off.
It's like blocked off and unrestricted. So we're like walking, and you can walk like literally right by the stage, and you can walk right in front of the stage.
Oh yeah,
and the security is in between us and the other people. So we have like, we're like behind security. We can do whatever we want. And you like walk right past all the artists performing. Like when they're not performing, you just like see them drinking. And you walk past them. So
it's just funny to see how like these artists would have like bottles of Smirnoff, like handles of Smirnoff, and we'd be drinking 1942 all night.
yeah, and like you can see how some of them are like such like divas and princesses. Like there's one experience where one of them,
oh yeah,
just
so
like he was.
I'll call him straight out. That was that was
one.
me and Dylan Francis had a bit of beef that time. Oh my god, that guy. So, like I said, we're drinking Smirnoff, whatever. But where our cabana, I suppose we'll call it, there was no washroom, and you have to walk all the way around to the other side of the water park.
Yeah.
But if you went where Dylan Francis was drinking, there was like that door right there, and I think the code was like, I won't say it, but it's just something simple. Mm-hmm. Like you guys can probably figure that out with that one out. It's just super simple. Like if you were trying to get in your boyfriend's phone and you pick the passcode. But anyways, where's my jewel? Found it. So I remember I use his washroom, and I'm obviously stupid drunk at this point. I use his washroom, and he starts getting pissed off at me that I'm in his washroom. Like thinks he has some sort of like he's any better than me or something like that. So I just started kind of chirping him. I was like, man, I don't give a fuck. Like, just being ignorant. Like, buddy, like, you're out here drinking Smirnoff. Like, I don't have to do it. I don't have to work tonight, and I'm fucking drinking better than you. Like, we got badder girls than you. Like, he's just getting pissed off. So he starts like, he follows me out with his security, and he starts grabbing the barricades to block the stage off.
Yeah.
And I just start yelling, I'm like, buddy, I'm like, you're such a fucking loser. I'm like, fuck you. Like,
I don't even think I witnessed any of this.
Oh,
actually.
this was with Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've heard this story.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely
and then we started fucking yelling at him like, buddy, you're such a fucking... We didn't say loser. It was definitely... It was a lot worse than that. But we were like, you're a fucking loser. Like, whatever. Just chirping him. And I remember some of these people that are definitely higher up and like putting this whole thing together were like, whoa, like chill out. Like, don't yell at the artist, please.
Yeah, got to keep us under control. We're not that bad, but...
So we had a bit of beef, but he's fucking blocking the stage off like a fucking loser because we kept like walking around.
Oh yeah, and then he wouldn't even let people get close to the stage.
Not even close. He put like barricades next to the stage, barricades on like the stage would go this way where the walkways were, so it connect in front, and he'd block from the sides and then from like twice through the sides.
Yeah, so we couldn't even see like if you wanted to watch his like set, you couldn't watch it from the front. You could only see it from like behind, and like. It was shitty for us if you're like into him, but
yeah, but I was just like getting pissed off and started yelling at him.
We didn't really care. We were just drinking in our area.
I don't give a fuck anyways, but what about you? Do you have any stories from Soundwave from when I wasn't there? This was from, I guess this will transition nicely into our hookup stories.
Oh, fuck.
From Soundwave.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. I guess you can kick that off since this was your...
This would have been
this is your problem.
This would have been the same night, actually. We were like, the concert was wrapping up and like people were leaving, and there's this girl who was like trying to hook up with me, and I had hooked up with her before, so yeah. It was kind of just like do it again. But like Jacob and I were trying to get away, like we just wanted to go back to my house and call it a night, and this girl kept following me around, and like we literally were like hiding, and she like still found us. So we were like, at that point we're just like, let's just get a cab and we'll leave with her. Who cares? Yeah. So she comes back to my place, and I'm just like, whatever, you can sleep in my bed. So yeah. I'm a dog. You know what I did.
Bitch, I'm a dog. No, so I remember she's following us around like afterwards. We're hiding behind that pole.
Then we weren't that drunk. We were like, we had sobered up a little bit.
We always say that, though. We always say we weren't that drunk, but we were probably fucking wasted.
I do remember it very clearly, though. That's why I don't think I was that drunk, but I probably was.
But I guess where we left off, we got to your house, and from my perspective, I'm like, there's no way this girl's coming. And then her friend, she's like, wait with me, like my friend's coming. And I'm like, okay. I think it was her sister.
No, I don't think it was her sister.
Her like that like Mitsubishi Lancer showed up, and I thought she was leaving, but she just picked up like her overnight bag.
Yeah, I was like,
and what? I was like, what the fuck? So that was the best. She fucking picks up this like overnight bag from this random car full of people. We go back to Ethan's house in Edmonton, and we pull up. She goes to his room. I'm like, all right, like that's their thing. I'm going the fuck to bed. I'm not getting involved with that.
I wanted to go to bed too. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really want to do it, but
you just gotta say no.
When you're drunk, you make questionable decisions.
Definitely. So then I like go in the room to get like a charger from your room, and I'm like using my flashlight looking around, and then she's just sitting there like titties out, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that was I don't know, nothing bad, but I just like
No.
I was too tired. I didn't really want to like smash, but
You did. I heard.
yeah, she was being loud.
It was a loud
weird.
one. That was like ridiculously loud.
I was like, I think I was trying to like cover her mouth too. I was just like, shut up.
Yeah, we're on the same floor of the house, but it was still like so fucking loud.
Yeah, I was like, chill.
Yeah, but anyways, that's pretty much what's happened. That's what's come from Soundwave. It's happened more than once with different people, but it would just be the same story over and over again, essentially.
Yeah, that's like what a lot of these like going out stories were. It's just like same stuff happening every weekend with different girls.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was fun, but I'm glad I'm out of that stage now.
Yeah.
Like I'm turning 26 in like 2 days, so
Yeah, fair enough.
I keep telling myself that I'm too old to do that stuff, but when the opportunity comes, I always end up
doing it. But it's just
again.
definitely not as frequent. Like that mentality is not the same. It's not like the go-to.
But yeah, just like well, everything is a lot more different now because I moved out here to go back to school. Like I feel so weird in some of my like being some of the first year classes I've had. I'll go in there and you just see like these kids that look like infants, and you're like, holy shit. I guess they could be like 17, 18, and I'm like 25 now. So it's kind of funny, but I love being back in school.
Yeah. So I guess like that's what I was going to bring up. Like, regardless, you just brought that up anyway. But I was saying, I guess like it's just kind of funny thinking back. Like for us, it's just funny to think back on like how things were and how things are now. Because like you're out here in the Okanagan now, back in school. Like I think you're going to eventually probably work on your master's or something in your field.
Yeah, so I'm studying geography, which, contrary to what most people think, it's not just naming countries on and like being able to look at a map, but
No, definitely.
those are aspects.
From what I've heard from you, it's definitely got a lot more to it than that. And there's people that do like very well in that career, and I think it's a good choice.
It's cool. Like it's not even what I wanted to do when I went back to school. I ended up just like changing because I took a few geography courses and I was like, shit, this is cool. This is like something that I could enjoy doing.
Forget what did you originally want it to go into?
It was like it'd be like related to like computers, and it was called media studies. That's what it was.
Okay, fair enough.
So it'd be like technology related, like not quite computer sciences, maybe like similar to it, but more creative.
Okay, yeah.
Which I'm glad I didn't stick with that because I love geography, and like Jacob was saying, I'm probably gonna do my master's in it, like at minimum. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a PhD, but that's a discussion for another time.
For way later. I guess we're just like comparing, how things were before to now, and then now like I'm in the same boat as you. We're about the same age. I'm 25 as well. But like I've applied to UBCO, I've applied to like a number of different universities to go into biomedical science. So, and I went to business school already. So, I guess my recommendation to anyone is like, honestly, we're so fucking young. Like 25, you're fairly fucking young still. You got a lot of time to figure your shit out. And I mean, if anyone out there is thinking of switching it up, it's definitely not a bad idea. Cause I know like you definitely don't regret making that choice. And I'm like in the process, but I don't regret it. And I see it like being very beneficial.
No, yeah. I'm so glad I went back to school. Like I was working, for my dad's construction company for like 5 years maybe. And I enjoyed doing it, but I knew it's not like a job that I wanted to keep doing the rest of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
there's some point where you decide that like it's more like what's satisfying, like being financially stable is fine. And like, I mean, not trying to like sound like a dick, but like we're in a position where like that's not exactly something we have to worry about like at the moment. Mm-hmm. So it's just nice. It's nice to have the opportunity. What I'm trying to say is like, it's nice to have the opportunity to like focus on what you like, what you actually love.
Yeah. So if anyone's out there and they're either working right now, they're young, or you got a lot of time. And
yeah, definitely.
And honestly, think about going back to school if like you're not happy with where you're working.
And if you're partying right now, have fun, because we did the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, I've got no regrets about all that stuff. Like
it's funny. It comes with some funny fucking stories. I wish we had more time today. I got to fly out, but I wish we had some more time today to dive deep into. I know we had some stories planned, but we'll probably just have to cut it short anyways today. But
yeah, we didn't really think through the exact stories because sometimes it's hard to like. They're so blurry and it just like.
And the fact that like we need way more time to talk about it, but I guess the comparison is like we've been there. If you're partying, like fuck around, do the same shit, and makes for good stories and good memories. And I mean, you got a lot of time, so that's my recommendation. Like being where I am now, it's like it's stressful at first, being like thinking like, oh fuck, like I'm 25, I got to do this, I got to do that. But like I've heard stories of people like in their mid 20s, like essentially starting from scratch, going to med school.
Oh yeah,
which is like more or less what I'm doing. So it's like, I don't know. When it comes down to it, I think it's so worth it, and it's not like it's going to benefit you either way.
Yeah, you're going to be happier in the long run if you maybe don't stick with like something that you're only really like you want to make money and you want to like have fun. Like that stuff can come later. You can enjoy it, but don't hesitate to like do something big and change your life. Like I'm not trying to be inspirational, but
just dropping some wisdom right now.
I'm so glad that I went back to school because I love learning. I love being in the class and being like with all this the pandemic going on right now with COVID-19. Yeah, it's like it sucks for a lot of people. It's affected me in the sense that like all of my classes got canceled and apparently supposed to do online exams, which I don't know how that's going to work.
Who knows?
I miss like being in the classroom. I like hearing a professor lecture to me in person. I don't like doing online stuff. It's not that fun. It's hard to motivate yourself a little bit too.
Yeah. And I guess like with that being said, it's just like it's still like you're in a position where you definitely we have a different mentality, but we still have fun. We still definitely get up to all the fuck shit, but I guess like just your goals are a little more. Your goals aren't like make it to the weekend to pop a fucking bottle. It's like just different goals in mind, which I think is all good. And there's always a time and place for having a lot of fun, and I think we make it work.
And we've got our very good friend group now where we're not trying to go out and meet all these different people. No. Not saying that you shouldn't do that, but we're mid-20s. We've got our good friend group. We can do anything together, and it's still just as fun as like.
I've always said I'd rather be tight with like 5 people than like I feel like we know a lot of people, and there's such a big difference between like knowing a lot of people and like actually being close, like as tight as we are, or like a lot of our friends. So
yeah, I hang out with like some of my friends from Edmonton. Like I see Jacob more than I see like people who like live here. Yeah, because we're such good friends that Jacob will just like fly out for a weekend and like he always just
even like with what's going on in the world like right now, we're still having like just as much fun as we always do. Like even though we've obviously just been like cutting back, like not going out and just keeping our distance from like I guess like social distance as far as like not being stupid and like even though it's your birthday, like we're not partying, we're not like eating out, we've just been laying pretty low. So and it's still fun. So
I know you might get some people hating on you for the fact that you came here and we're hanging out during this shit, but definitely. Like we honestly I don't know, I'm not going to defend it, but we just we just been hanging out at my house and
pretty much doing the same thing I'd be doing in Edmonton. And like as we talked about in the previous podcast, just like inability to like change anything because it's a fucking pain. Like I don't fucking recommend anyone traveling right now because it was a fucking like 3-hour long haul to like try to change any flights, or like I was even saying like book me. I was trying to tell them on the phone like, can I fly 2 weeks from now? Like
we were trying to get Jacob we were trying to get his flights changed because we didn't want like with all this
more
shit.
Convenient. We had like other friends planning to come, but like a lot of people weren't able to, and which is fine and we understand it. But
and like we're supposed to have like between my friends and Eric's friends, there's probably going to be a bunch of us, and then
like a dozen.
I was just like, no, we should postpone it, and we'll do like a bigger thing when the weather's nice.
So I just said, fuck it, I'll be back again.
Yeah.
So I'll just do it twice. I don't really give a fuck.
Jacob came, but we stayed at home and went to we just went to the condo at Big White, but we didn't.
So for any of you social justice warriors, we're doing the same thing you're doing, just in a different location. So
we were doing nothing but being at home before, like
drinking, cooking. That's it.
Same thing. Honestly, I do that anyways. Besides whether there's a pandemic or not.
Yeah,
I've got the same routine. I just like stay at home.
Stay at home son, professional student.
I went from popping bottles to taking care of plants.
Yeah, seriously, life can change a lot. I guess that's the moral of today's story. Is
Yeah,
you'd be surprised how life changes.
Things can change very quickly. I mean,
for the better.
Yeah, if you
Definitely
want them
for the
to.
better.
But I like it. I'm happy with what's going on right now in my life. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously not the pandemic, but I'm talking about the general
How it's going, how
Yeah.
things have been.
general
So,
routine is good.
yeah. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps up episode 5 out in Kelowna. I'm going to be back in Edmonton, obviously, so you'll see the next episode coming soon with Daniel getting back at it. I think he's had too long of a break, so I'll put him to work. I'll get him to think of a few.
Not even gonna lie, we haven't even watched back the episode we recorded yesterday, and we were pretty dusted. So
Like,
hopefully
you guys
it's
will be
coherent.
Yeah, you guys will be watching this episode like spaced out, but it's kind of funny. Like, as of right now, we straight up haven't even seen the fucking episode we recorded last night, and I don't even know, man. Like, we were pretty fucking dusted. So
I think we were talking about food literally the whole time. So hopefully it's not like
Yeah.
too much of the
Yeah.
same as the episode before.
I guess anyone that fell asleep during the last episode, we apologize, but that's what happens when you got to be with your quarantine.
Yeah, Jacob and I have different experiences, even though it might be talking about the same stuff as
Yeah.
some of the other episodes. We just have some different things, different
True.
ideas.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I guess stay tuned for episode. I guess it'll be episode 6 coming out next. That'll be with Daniel back in Edmonton. Obviously, we'll run some questions of the week for that one. We'll start bringing that one back, and I guess stay tuned for that. And I guess just thanks again for Ethan for coming on for the last couple episodes and for like fucking with the vision.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I
of course.
hope people don't find me too boring.
Yeah, you could do a nice ASMR channel with that monotone ass voice.
That's right. I hope you guys love this monotone voice.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, stay tuned for that and deuces.
Deuces.